Hello everyone, and welcome back to the extra videos for Let's Play the Journeyman Project 2, Buried in Time. One last trip to the Farnstein lab for an additional path through the lab. Now, actually, when I say additional path, I'm actually lying. We're actually going to repeat a path that we did before. But we get a lot of extra stuff now that we have Arthur with us. You can do this immediately when you pick up Arthur, and you can immediately jump back and do this. And after you finish the lab and find the evidence, you can do it whenever you want.
Ooh, scary.
Yes, so when you go back to the path where you got Arthur, Arthur actually says some things.
This is pathetic. What am I gonna do next? With a flashlight under my face?
Well, you're trying to be scary. Also, I missed some doors. So there's some more comments.
Not much to tell, really. Most of the modules were designed to shear off at the connection tube rather than get breached by a collision. That way, they hopefully wouldn't depressurize, and at least the occupants would have a chance of being rescued. I'd imagine the crew berths are in orbit somewhere among the ice chunks by now. This door used to lead to a shortcut between the Habitat Wing and the Science Wing. Now, I'm sure it's just a scenic view.
This would have been helpful if, of course, it wasn't blown off. Let's continue on.
You know, it's pretty interesting how this station is constructed. In my time, we still have to worry about the cost of lifting mass out of a gravity well. What do you guys have? Matter transmission or something, right? Anyway, the walls of these connection hallways are basically lightweight Coramid fiber bags, honeycombed with little cells, kind of like bubble pack. They're shipped up folded, then pressurized with an expanding closed-cell foam, which makes them rigid and acts as a self-sealant in case of things like micrometeorite punctures. Coramid mesh, they're resilient enough to handle some of the bigger, slower objects. But, well, as you can see for yourself, what happens when it meets Lucifer's hammer.
I definitely like the Lucifer's hammer metaphor, if anything. Now, of course, you're hearing the frightening stuff again because, of course, we are only able to jump to a specific point in time. That time being before we met Arthur in the first place. Of course, there's this door.
This used to be the kitchen and the gravity gym. Part of it's still intact, but this door looks dead.
Oh well.
Hey, I thought you were anxious to find your distortion ripple. You've already been through here, and the only thing this way is me. And frankly, meeting myself might not be that healthy. You know how they say the things you hate most in others are the things you hate in yourself? Well, this guy's beginning to get on my nerves.
Well, Arthur, I met myself, so I'm not really feeling your bane. Alright then.
That always seemed to work in Scooby-Doo.
That's me? That's not me.
Yeah, I get that comment a lot.
This is the station's power source. All those big Tylenols store the charge collected by the solar sails and distribute them to various parts of the station. I guess I'm looking at my end here. When that blue glow fades, so will I. Or at least one of me. God, I feel like a saved game. Look, you're running out of oxygen, and the only way to recharge here means blocking off the way to get to my sculptures. I don't know why you're wasting your time here. Most of your oxygen supply is depleted, so you're gonna have to jump back to where we arrived again.
Arthur's getting a little anxious, because technically that should have been a help message the way he put that. Because if you remember, I screwed myself over by pressurizing the biomass processing module while in here. And I had to get to the docking bay. And I wasn't able to because there isn't any oxygen reserves. That's pretty much what Arthur just said.
So, I guess I haven't gotten rid of you after all. You just pop up in different spots, like whatever pops up in different spots. So, corrupting my work not enough? Back to finish the job? What?
Gage, be honest with me. Does my voice really sound that dorky?
Yeah, you ever get the feeling that you've never heard yourself before? So you think your voice is wonderful, and then you hear yourself?
And I thought I was being rescued. I'm breathing my last breaths here, and I get visited by Guido, the space vandal. Come all this way to tamper with my sculptures. What are you, an art critic?
Of course, he'll continue to say the same things, but actually, Arthur has nothing new to say. So let's just go ahead and ignore Arthur. And go ahead and pressurize the components array. Now, if you remember from the actual video, you noticed that when we were in the biomass processing and we went over here, it said it was obstructed. Look at what happens when we do it a second time now that we have the metal bar. It pressurizes without incident. Really don't understand that. We'll see this before when items duplicate, but we're not able to get a duplicate of the item.
So, what do? Travel around space looking for derelict crafts you can terrorize the survivors by redecorating while they're helpless? What'd you do? Bring a spray can too?
Unfortunately, there's nothing really Arthur has to say about the engineering module, which is completely foamed off.
Look, if you're here to rescue me, fine. Just get on with it. If you're gonna add insult to injury by messing with my work, I can do without it, okay? Just leave me here to die in peace with my artwork.
For some reason, I always get messed up here.
What do you want? What do you want?
Well, all I want is to get through here. Alright, through to the docking bay. Of course, coming back through here, you get more information about the lab in general from Arthur.
Okay, this is the docking bay. The hex pads, as Mom keeps reminding us, are localized gravity repulsors that allow us to move cargo around the hold. I'm sure you had fun in here the first time, but this is really not the time to play Twister.
Again, he's getting anxious. Now, I kind of didn't do any of the other paths that go through here, but this kind of proves my point that you really just can't get stuck. So look at what that path does. It doesn't make logical sense, but then again, this is a point and click. Adventure game, the logic doesn't really have to play any sort of chord in anything. Oh, this is the same way. Oops. And of course you get the ones that bounce you back to the same direction that you were, which is annoying in itself. I'm gonna have to do the loop around in order to get back to where I was. And of course he goes, no, you can't go that way. So it's really at this point that you just kind of have to go with the motions.
You seem different somehow. Unlike before, your patterns, you're more curious, like you don't really know what you're doing here, do you? You're not the same intruder.
That seems to be my speech at the moment.
So, why are you here? Are you looking for something? Me?
You think Arthur would chime up at some point, but he's not. Alright, at the end.
I don't know why I feel this, but I guess I have an instinct about you. My other guest didn't feel right. You're different somehow. Like I should trust you.
Arthur? We're getting closer.
Have you been listening to me or what? I'm trying to help you out here. If we go into that room, I'm gonna end up meeting myself. And I don't know how I'll take it. The other me. Oh, you know what I mean. At the least, it'll end up affecting one of my sculptures, and then you'll have more than a ripple on your hands. So, for your own good, if you don't jump us out of here, I will.
Yeah. He's got a point. We meet himself. He still has access to mess around with the sculptures that are in the biomass processing. They've already been tampered before, but they're going to change now, and that's going to change what they're going to look like when they're in the Louvre. I don't see how you can actually jump me out of here. That's how. You will force an auto recall if you click on the scanner room door. If you go back there, nothing actually happens. You can't. There's no additional dialogue for continually screwing with Arthur in order to meet himself. But so that's it for that other path in the Farnstein lab. Hope you enjoyed that. Ever had the anxiety of meeting yourself? Arthur has a good example of what actually happens. So that'll be it for this extra video. Next time we'll do something else. See you next time, everyone.